Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Interviews with Entrepreneurs in South Africa. Today, I'm speaking with Barry Mason, who is a website developer. Barry, please will you tell us a little bit more about your business and how you started it and why you started it?
Okay, thanks for having me on, Melanie. All right, so I basically website design and development started as a hobby. It was a sort of a sideline thing of mine. And I got involved with another company who quite liked my work, and he asked me to join him. So we actually, there were two of us at one stage. I've since broken away, and I've been by myself for about, about 5-6 years now. Doing website development and design. A lot of I've got quite a few, probably 80 or so customers at the moment, which I look after their websites for them. And I also offer hosting. So I actually host people's websites. In other words, it's a one-stop shop. I'll design the website, get register the name, host the site, and the whole thing. So if someone comes up to me, they need to do nothing else type thing. On top of the website design, a lot of my work is what they call search engine optimization. And that is where, if you go to Google and you search for a product or something, and your website's quite new, it's very rare that you'll actually feature on Google. So I do sort of what they call search engine optimization, where I put in keywords, or I use keywords and I rewrite the person's site as such to make it more Google friendly or search engine friendly. And that's, just to promote the website more. And the other thing I do is pay-per-click advertising. If you search for something on Google, you'll see the adverts that's pop up type thing. So I do that as well, which is very lucrative. It's very cost effective. And I've got a couple of companies who do that for.
Okay. And what sorts of companies do you normally work for? Who's your ideal customer?
Small to medium companies. I do have one or two larger ones, but it's mainly the small to medium enterprises who feel that they think it's going to be too expensive for them, and then I show them, look, it's not that expensive, and anyone can actually have a website. It's very easy to sort out something. So, but a couple of biggish companies I do, for instance, Nomads Gulf of South Africa. They've got a central sort of nomads group, and other sort of clubs, nomads golf clubs in the different provinces, and I do most of their sites. So each club has got their own website, which I do, and that sort of thing. Yeah, so quite a there's a range. I do it. Anything from my guest house. I've done a couple of hotels. Brake and clutch companies, and that's anything any sort of company I'll deal with.
What I quite like is that you're a one-stop shop for everything. I know it can be very frustrating as a business owner. I now approach a web developer and I say, can you build me a website? And then they say that I still have to go and do my hosting and my search engine optimization elsewhere. So I think it's really convenient that you're a one-stop shop. So a business owner can come to you and just tell you what they need, and you do absolutely everything for them from start to finish. I think that's really, really awesome.
Yeah, that's right. I've had one or two, or quite a few customers who, if they give me all the information that they want on their websites or the website, I can have it designed, populated, and up and running with the domain name within a few days, sort of thing. So it's it's surprisingly easy for a customer to get on the internet.
Now, you mentioned pay-per-click advertising and it being very lucrative. Can you explain what it is and how it works for people out there who don't know?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to get on the first page of Google, like I said, you either got to be a very old website or very well known, like Apple or that sort of thing. So for a starting company or a small company, it's very difficult to get on the front page of Google. With pay-per-click advertising, you can pretty much guarantee, or I can pretty much guarantee that the person can get on the front page, right on the top, or bottom adverts. The nice thing about it is the client actually says, I can only spend X amount of month on sort of advertising. And we budget to that so that the adverts are spread out over the month or whatever, so that he doesn't really go over, he'll never really go over budget and that sort of thing. If you quite a unique product, you for instance, a click might cost sort of 10 Rand a click or something like that. But if no one clicks on it, in other words, if they just go right past it, it costs the advertiser zero, which is quite handy. So yeah, it's the best, I think the best form of advertising, of Google advertising or search engine advertising. I'm trying to think now of an example. I have, for instance, I took a company where I saw they could benefit from such advertising because they had a reasonably unique product, and approached them, and they said, no, it's going to be too expensive. And I'd made a deal with them. I took it on. I said, I will do the advertising for you for nothing. And if you see it's paying off, then you can start, pay me back or whatever. They started doing it, and within days, they phoned me and they said, okay, this is really working for us, and we'd like to carry on. So, I'll do that as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. It's awesome to hear that you'll take a risk with a customer and support them in that way. I think especially during COVID-19, with a lot of people wanting to branch out into the online space who don't know a lot about it, that would give them a great sense of security to know that you're prepared to take a risk like that with them.
Yeah, it's because I stand by my product and or by what I do. I don't, a lot of people are just out to make money for themselves, and I do a lot of this just to show it can be done, and then their word of mouth, I will get more business. So that's my sort of philosophy of it.
That's very interesting. So you say most of your business comes from word of mouth?
A lot of it does, yes, very much
so. So a guy who specializes in website development is relying on word of mouth for his own growth in his business.
Surprisingly, I don't do much advertising myself.
Okay.
I did at one stage, but I got overwhelmed.
Okay.
So I ran out of time.
Okay.
Sort of.
Okay.
So actually,
it worked too well.
Correct.
That's an interesting challenge to have in a business. And you haven't thought of branching out and maybe getting more people on board?
As in what, hiring people?
Yes. Yes.
Is that what you mean? I have. It's kind of difficult because then I've got people really relying on me, to get the work in and get. So it's doable, but the capital outlay as well, it's going to be a bit steep. So if it ever gets to that point, then I would hire external people for sure.
Well, I'm also a great believer that the whole reason we become entrepreneurs is so that we can engineer the life we want. And what you're saying kind of resonates with me, because I don't want staff, because I don't want to give up privacy and flexibility and just the option to do whatever I want whenever I damn well feel like it. I think that being an entrepreneur also takes some introspection and understanding who we are and what we want out of life.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies they tend to make money. I mean, they just want to make as much as they can. And I'm too old now, so I think I'm just I want to make enough to get by, and I'm quite happy, and it's fun. There's no real pressure and stress at the moment. So I enjoy what I'm doing, so it's great. Yeah.
I think a stress-free life is worth its weight in gold.
Oh yes, definitely.
And you're also able to work from a small town. You're in Uniondale.
I am, yes. I'm in Uniondale. My office is actually Bonacord's guest houses, the hall next to Bonaccord guest house, which at the moment, I think I've got the biggest office in the Western Cape, because the hall is about, 8 meters wide by 30 meters long, and it's just me sitting in here. So
Do you sometimes run up and down the hall?
I do, yes, just to get to have a little bit of exercise. I put my phone right on the other side of the hall and have to get it onto it. And then,
That's great.
and the nice thing about being here as well is I've grown very fond of Uniondale. So I'm trying to boost I want Uniondale to sort of thrive, and hopefully I can do something about that. So I've actually developed a website now. It's called myuniondale or myuniondale, which works for both, I think, .co.za. The site is going to be, it's not in competition with the tourism sites. They've got a sort of a set thing, and everyone's happy. There's a lot of nice information there. My site is going to be more for the locals who um, can't really advertise, or don't have the money to have a website or anything like that. So you'll see on the site, which is still very much under development. I'm getting a sort of info from the different people in Uniondale who offer a service, and I'm going to put them on the site. And then if the person wants, I'm going to make a page for that particular company or whatever for nothing. So it can be another guest house. I'll do a page for them, or a link to their sort of own website. So that if people search and tourists and whatever, and they don't know what's in Uniondale, they'll pretty much have everything on that site. So hopefully that'll help the sort of Uniondale.
That's such a wonderfully generous offer. Thank you. That's amazing. I think that's a great way to grow a local community. And I think also a great way for businesses in the area to kind of test the waters if they're not sure if they want a website or not, to see whether a page on your site is useful to them, and then from there decide if they want to branch out to their own website. So I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think because a lot of people, maybe they don't want a website, like you say, or they think it's going to be too expensive or whatever, and they've got product they want to promote. So if my contact details are on the site, if they sort of say, could I have a page, give me the info, I'll whack up a page from quite quickly. It doesn't cost me that much, because like I say, I do host websites and everything. So it's the domain registration and the hosting, I buy a chunk of hosting of a server. So it doesn't really cost me that much. So it's the only thing that's going to cost me is my time. But my sort of rationale is if I have more people on board or more pages and whatever, the site will start getting more hits, and I'll start getting a reputation for doing websites and that sort of thing. So eventually it'll be a benefit to me. So that's what I'm going for, basically.
I think it's a fantastic idea. Thank you. I'm also a Uniondale resident, and I can really see that this community can use something like that. A lot of the entrepreneurs in the area who I've spoken to are very kind of technology averse. They're nervous of it.
Yeah.
I think that it'll be very beneficial for the area, for you to just open the door for people who are scared to go online. So thank you.
Yeah, I really hope so. Another thing sort of I was aiming at as well is for the locals. You see on the WhatsApp groups, everyone wants to know this person's phone number, or who's the person who does fresh vegetables, and who does on the groups. So if I have that almost a directory eventually of
Yes.
people, so you can go to a one-stop place and you can find all the information you need, and that sort of thing.
Yes.
I think it'd be great for the locals as well.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to use that. Once you've got it populated with all that stuff, I'm definitely going to use it. So Barry, what do you enjoy most about your job?
I can work wherever I like. I can work whenever I like. So if I feel like doing work on a Sunday, I just whip out the laptop. I can, carry on, sort of thing.
Mm.
And it's apart from the when I do website design, so it means I can also do sort of I do catalog design and in any type of design work. And I can at one stage be doing a pay-per-click campaign for a company, and then feel I'm getting bored with that and change to something else, do a little bit of design. So it keeps me the mind fresh. So I can just jump around and decide what I feel like doing today and then do it. Yeah, that's great.
That's wonderful. And I'm pretty certain for people who've got 9-to-5 jobs who are locked into doing very specific things all day, that sounds like heaven. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time to chat with me today and to tell me about what you do. It was really awesome hearing from you. If anybody would like to reach you, where can they find you online?
Okay, there's a number of ways. Obviously, you can go to the myuniondale.co.za website. My details are on there. Or you can email me directly at Barry, BARRY, at oldgoat.co.za. Believe it or not, my company is called Old Goat Marketing.
I love that. That's wonderful. And do you have any parting words for anybody who's watching, who's thinking of building a website but is holding back for some or other reason? What would you say to them?
I think it's not as scary as it seems. It's quite simple to get a website up and running. If you want to chat or have, or even if you planning to do because people can do your own websites, and if you're planning to or you want some info, you're welcome to pop around and have a chat. I'm not gonna charge or anything like that. Whatever they want, I'll assist. I have no problem with it.
Okay,
But it's not as scary as you think.
okay, that's awesome. That's awesome information. And thank you so much for sharing your generosity.
No, it's a pleasure. And thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure. Have a great day, Barry.
Okay. Thanks. Cheers, eh? Bye-bye.